It's all about perspective and how your outlook on the life that you now live. So how can you maximize it, basically? Romanticize your life. There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jasmine. Welcome. And for my returning subscribers, hey guys, what's poppin'? So today I kind of just wanted to chat with you guys about what life is really like as a mom and a flight attendant. I wanted this to be just like a sit down video, because you guys do kind of get a glimpse of like vlog style of how life is like with me and my 3-year-old, and how life as a flight attendant meshes with that. So if you haven't seen some of my weekly vlogs, there are plenty up now as far as showing my life as a flight attendant and how things go like on a weekly basis. Every week is different. If you're interested in those kind of vlogs, I'll put them in the cards above, as well as link them in the description box so you guys can check those out. But today we're going to solely be talking about what life is really like as a mom and a flight attendant. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn your bell notifications on, because we are posting on this channel every Sunday and every Wednesday. So stay tuned for more videos to come, and you have plenty of stuff to watch from the past. So let's get into today's video. So I do have a few notes to help me and just guide me through the conversation so that I'm not rambling, because I have a tendency to do that. So I wanted to break it up into like some of the personal struggles that I deal with personally, because I can only speak on myself, and then I want to share ways that I can alleviate some of the struggles that I previously stated. So that's just kind of how the video is going to go, and kind of what to expect. So a few struggles that I deal with being a mom and working in aviation. The hardest thing and the number one thing that came to mind was missing Nova, missing my daughter, missing my kid. I know that that's like a really common one. It's probably the most difficult one that I deal with, because you know, she's getting older, and it was a little easier when she was little. I started my career as a flight attendant when she was about 15 months. Just missing her and her missing me. The older she gets, the more aware she is of me leaving and where I'm going and what I'm doing. She understands a lot more now. She's 3 years old, so she does miss me when I'm gone, and we FaceTime all the time, and there's ways to alleviate some of that, you know, that heartache. But yeah, that's the biggest thing, is like, expect to miss your kids. You're gonna be gone for multiple days at a time. Expect to miss your children. I mean, that's natural, normal. I miss her on the weekend when I am home or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but although you miss your children, when you come home, sometimes it really is hard to balance in like the first year or two how tired you are. The job is very like draining itself, and then to have to come home and do all of your mom or dad duties, you know, be a parent, play with your child, interact with your child, teach and learn and teach your child things, because what if they're not in school? Everybody's circumstance is different. Some people are homeschooling, you know what I'm saying? Or on the weekends you brush up on their education when they're not in daycare or school or whatever the case may be. So that is a big, I would say that's the biggest struggle, and the hardest adjustment is adjusting to just your body being tired and still having to be a parent no matter what when you get home. They still want and deserve to be played with, so you have to put like that tiredness to the side and push through. Even after a long 3-day trip, you might get home in the morning or, you know, whatever, and your kid is ready and welcoming you home, ain't trying to play dolls. You know, you gotta go play dolls with your kid. So those are just kind of like some of like, I want to say sacrifices, but at the same time not really, because no matter what kind of career you're in, you know, people come home from their 9-to-5s and are tired. But I don't know, the level of tired that I am when I come off of a 3-day trip is I need a full 24 hours of like doing that thing. Like I sit at home, I go to sleep. It's just hard to work 6 flights in the day, in the last 2 days and come home and have to still be a parent, still take care of your responsibilities. And no matter what career you're in, I'm pretty sure that can be difficult. But y'all know, when you travel, you take one flight, you tired, like it's a travel day. Think about us, we take multiple flights and then working on them. We don't have the luxury of sitting around and, you know, enjoying a Coke and cookies. So yeah, that's something to really take into account. The schedule and the lifestyle takes some adjusting to in terms of your body. So just kind of be prepared for that if you are like thinking about this job as a mom or dad, or preparing yourself because you've already made it through and you're about to get on the line for real, and you're just trying to, you know, gain a grip on what to expect. It's not one of my personal struggles, but talking to other moms throughout and meeting people and stuff like that who are flight attendants, I do hear them struggle a lot with having to find care. Now, everybody's circumstance is different. For example, my situation, I'm still with my daughter's father, so we all live together. You know, when I'm gone, he just picks up a little bit more responsibilities with me being away. So it's full-on daddy daycare when I'm gone. So naturally, she's gonna be with her dad all week, you know, just a regular family home, you know, single family home lifestyle. And on the weekends, typically I'm home during the week, so on the weekends it's just her and her dad rocking it out at the house. But a lot of the times we have a lot of extra outside help, whether Nova's at her grandparents' house or an auntie's house. Nova's always like, Nova got her own schedule, so my kid, you know, and we're very fortunate in that area. But I do understand that there are some single moms out here doing it who need a babysitter, who need childcare, who have to, you know, when they get their schedule, have to figure out how to change things up. So I will say, if you are a single mom and you get outside help, unless you got your stuff down packed, I will say that the job becomes a little bit more difficult because you don't control really what you work every month. And when you're first starting out in the first few years, there's only but so much leverage that you have to move your schedule around, unless you're just really good at, you know, working the swap board and open time and things like that, the things that they don't even teach you how to do, things you got to learn to do by yourself. You are going to be stuck working a lot of the things that, you know, working days that you may not want, or, you know, certain schedules where you're gone longer than you want to be. So it's important to have a support system and people back at home who can help you when you're gone, because in the first few years you're going to be working 3-day trips. Like, you're going to be gone for 3 days and somebody needs to be watching your child. So if it's just you solely and it's just you and your kid and y'all are rocking it out and this is how y'all have been doing things and taking care of things, definitely consider like a nanny or like somewhere that the child can go when you're gone for multiple days at a time, because I mean, your kid can't just be home by themselves, right? Especially if they're young. That's a big struggle that I hear a lot of people discuss. So I will say that if your mom, a single mom or a single dad, who just really just, you know, you handle everything by yourself, really consider getting some outside help. Don't be afraid to ask. But this job is doable, y'all. I'm telling you, it's really not that bad when it comes to having kids. Like, you can really make it work. You just need a support system and people who you can lean on when you need them, when your schedule just really isn't working out for you. Just make sure that you have people who are supporting you through this new lifestyle change, because it is an entire lifestyle, whole lifestyle change that you will need support for, whether you have kids or not, honestly, in my opinion. But with kids, most definitely. I will say a big struggle, which is kind of what I've been touching on, is scheduling. It can be good and bad. Like I stated, the first few years of working, you have a pretty standard schedule. You're working every single weekend. You're typically only doing 3-day trips. And don't forget about those 8 days that are randomly dispersed throughout your month, right? So where you just really don't know what you're doing. You just 3 days on call. You gotta be at work, basically. I will say that the way that the schedules are set up and the crappy chips that you get in the first few years of being a flight attendant can work in your advantage, because it allows you to be off typically during the week. So if you have like elementary school kids or middle school kids and I know that, you know, we had like class moms in elementary school and stuff like that. That opens an opportunity for you to use the time that you do have when you are home to be as involved with your children as possible. So being the class mom or coming to those events in the classroom that are typically happening in the middle of the week. You know, most parents can't make that because they work typical 9 to 5s. Whereas you might miss a baseball game on Saturday or a football game on Saturday. It just kind of like, you know, you give and you take in the beginning at least. The best thing about this career is that it gets better. Like, the more you stay with the company, the more years you have under your belt, the more alleviation that you will see within your schedule and things like that. But my point in bringing this up is that you should really utilize and take advantage of the schedule that you do have, even when you can't control it. Utilize those weekdays to have more quality time in the morning with your children or at nighttime with your kid. It's good and bad, and it gets better. It starts out really crappy, but it gets better. Like I said, it all goes back to that support system. If you have people holding it down for you while you are gone and trekking it through these first couple years, then you're gonna be good to go and everything will get so much easier. And then the last thing that I kind of want to touch on that's like a personal struggle for me, and as you see, the list really isn't all that long. It is, I struggle with the most basic of things: quality time, you know, crappy scheduling but use it to my advantage. And that's really it. You just have to have a support system. I will say the last little bullet that I had written down was not as much quality time, because, for example, although I may be off all week, my child still has a very, like, we follow a very decent schedule to where, you know, even when I pick her up from daycare after the day is over, we don't have all that much time to hang out because we pretty much have a nighttime routine. We come home, we're gonna eat dinner, we're gonna play a little bit, we're gonna take a bath, you know, do our nighttime routine, and then she's out by 8:30. So it's like, I don't get that much quality time, but like, I try to maximize the time that I am here, so that way that when I'm gone, things aren't as, there's not much of a void to fill. It doesn't feel like I'm gone. We're maximizing all of our time when we are together. You know, playing after school when she comes home, like playing outside, 30 minutes can feel like a lifetime to a 3-year-old, you know what I'm saying? So use those moments to be able to connect with your kids. So I want to move on to the ways that you can alleviate some of the pressures of being a flight attendant and a mom at the same time. At the end of the day, it's a struggle. This job is already a struggle by itself. It's an entire lifestyle change. You're already disconnecting from so many people because your life is just completely different now. But on top of still having responsibilities at home, a child to take care of, or multiple children, or you're a single mom or dad and you really outsource your help, it can be difficult, but there are some ways to help ease some of the pressures that you may experience in the beginning. One of those ways is utilizing the scheduling, swap board, open time, whatever system that your airline has for you. There are all kind of trips, like all kind of different ways to work with my airline specifically. And one I want to touch on is one that I utilize to my most, as much as I can, is leanovers. So for example, if you prefer to work during the day, right, you would seek out trips that are just one day where you come to work, you sign in maybe at like 7 a.m. and you are done maybe like 8. Some of them are better where you can sign in really early and get done at a more like 6 o'clock, but you have to be realistic. If you're working all day, you're typically going to do 4 flights unless you're going to the West Coast, but even still, that's an 8-hour day. So, and it's not like a 9 to 5, but if you want to work more closely to a 9 to 5 schedule, even though it might be more like 6 to 8, you can do that. There's trips out there that are like that. Now, are they easy to get? No, because the most senior people are getting them. However, they exist, and you can work the swap board to your advantage if you reach out to people and stock the open time board that has all the available trips for whatever days that you need. Now, for me specifically, I it makes more sense, in my opinion, to work leanovers. It works for my schedule. I get the leanovers that sign in really late, like 9, anything past 9 o'clock. That way I can pretty much put my child to bed before I leave for work. I work all night. I come back first thing in the morning. Typically she's already gone because her dad does bring her to school, but that's a normal day even when I am home. We always do our schedule like that. Dad brings to school and I pick up. So this schedule works for my life. It works for my family. It makes sense for us. So that is how I work the system to my advantage, is working leanovers. Now I am 2.5 years in, and I've just recently been able to hold leanovers. And what I mean by hold leanovers is like some seniorities can't hold certain things in the schedule. So, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But I've just been able to recently hold leanovers, so it has alleviated some of my life stresses so much. I'm pretty much getting them on the weekends, which means I'm able to be home all day and then report to work that night. So I'm making up for that quality time. I'm able to be gone without Nova really noticing that I'm gone. So this is a great example of working the schedule and finding trips, finding things that you like to work. If you like to be gone for 3 days, then work 3-day trips. If you're okay with doing 2 days, those are available too. So there are so many ways that you can get your money basically, and you just have to really figure out what works best for you. Another tip in ways that can alleviate some of your stresses is eat well, work out, and be healthy, because in that first year you want to try as much as possible not to get sick, even though you're going to get sick. And then, you know, you want your body to adjust. You need to stay hydrated so that you can come home and have the energy to play with your kids. Being so tired and your body just really not adjusting to the new schedule of working 3 or 4 flights in a day, it takes some time to get used to. But if you're at your healthiest and really taking care of your body, it really does help that transition be a little bit easier for you, to avoid some of that friction and to still have that energy to come home. And if you have smaller kids, you need all the energy you can get, okay, and also all the sleep you can get. So try to maintain a healthy schedule, get good rest, eat well, drink lots of water, and stay active basically. A good idea, and something that can also help you when it comes to like the tiredness of the job and adjusting with having so much to do now. When you get home on your off days, it feels like you don't even get a chance to rest. Use your layovers to rest. If you can only work 3-day trips, try to find 3-day trips that have at least one super long layover on them. Utilize that time for self-care. I like to bring my facial steamer, my books, my laptop so I can play The Sims, or I like to do my Bible study. I just bring things that will calm me, relax me. I do yoga on my layovers, go to the gym on my layovers. I like to go out and just walk around whatever city I'm in, because it is just nice to step away. Although you miss your kids and you want to be at home, I know for me, sometimes I'm like, dang, I need a 3-day trip. Let me go see what 3-day trip I can pick up so I can give me a little break from being at home. So you can really, like, it's all about perspective and how your outlook on the life that you now live. So how can you maximize it basically? Romanticize your life. Use that time and take it as self-care, or do nothing. Lay in your hotel bed the whole time, watch Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so stressed out about working, because there are lots of pockets of peace when it comes to being a flight attendant, because we do have a lot of downtime. So utilize that, use it to your advantage, and enjoy the time away when you are away, rather than stressing about how much you miss your kid or how tired you are. A big tip that can help alleviate all of the sadness and the emotions is talk to your kids. If you have younger kids, tell them where you're going, tell them what you're doing. I hate blindsiding children. I don't want to. You're a human being as well, and you deserve to know, in my opinion. And I talk to my 3-year-old like she is a big girl, you know. I let her know mommy's going to work, Nova, and although she's very sad, we talk about it. I use it as a learning moment. I tell her where I'm going. I teach her about things in the locations that I'm gonna be at. You know, it really is an opportunity to connect. Like, mommy's going on the airplane, you know, like I'm going to Connecticut, even though there's probably nothing interesting about Connecticut. Find something, connect with your children, tell them where you're going. Don't do the sneak diss on them. Like, don't tell them you leaving for work, you sneak out the house when they not looking, and now they crying because they're wondering where mommy or daddy is for 3 days. You know, I don't think that's really fair. I feel like it can alleviate some of the relationship between you and the children, as well as avoiding like any like low-key abandonment issues. We don't want our kids to have a complex, so talk to them, let them know what you're doing, where you're going, and maybe turn it into a learning experience by sharing some information about the locations and the places that you're flying to. I've noticed that this has helped me a lot, and I love having conversations with my toddler. It's great. She has such a big imagination, and she loves learning, and typically whatever I tell her, she'll come back and she always remembers it, and it's stored in that little brain, and we can talk about it again later on when I tell her a new place that I'm going to. All in all, being a mom and a flight attendant is a challenge. Like, no lie, no matter how much help you get, it's still going to be difficult in your own way. You might struggle with childcare. You might struggle with money in the beginning because, yes, although we get paid really well, it's still a struggle in the beginning because we're making what, minimum wage for training, and honestly a lot of us have real big girl and big boy lives before we come into this world of aviation. So, and we put a lot of things on hold, so it is going to be a game of catch up a little bit in the beginning, and a game of just finding your balance in what your new life is going to be like, because not only has your life changed, but so has your children, so has your partner, your boyfriend, your husband. Everybody's life is changing, because when you're gone, guess who is taking on both roles? Whichever parent is home, or whatever person is taking care of your child now, and your kid, most importantly, you know. So I do feel like it's very rewarding. There are a lot of perks. You know, a well-traveled child is a blessing, and a lot of people can't say that they are. So use the things that you are given and romanticize the life. It's gonna be a struggle, but have a support system. Maximize the time that you have when you are with your children. Talk to your kids, let them know you're leaving, let them know where you're going, and also use that me time. We miss our kids and we want to be at home, but for real though, it's just about gearing up and getting ready for it. Anybody can do it. Honestly, truly, it's really not that bad. And like I said, the longer that you're with the company, the better it gets. So you have things to look forward to. You just gotta truck it out, you know, grind in the beginning, and everything will pan out exactly how it's supposed to. I hope this video was insightful for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed listening to me chit chat about my experience as a mom and a flight attendant, and kind of some of the ways that I alleviate some of the pressures of having a lot of responsibilities now or a little, not now, same responsibilities, but just how I handle them in a different type of lifestyle. If you guys are interested in seeing more of a vlog style of how I live my life as a flight attendant and a mom, stay tuned for those, or watch some of the ones that are already posted of my weekly vlogs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below if you are a mom and a flight attendant, and what are some of the things that help you be just great at a work-life balance. And if you are wanting to be a flight attendant and are a mom and still have questions, don't hesitate to drop me some comments in the comment section below. Love y'all. See you in my next video. Bye.